Alright, we're back on this 55 Chevy. Today we're going to look at the lights on the front of the truck. We got to change out all the bulb sockets, some headlight parts, get all new pigtails for all 6 of the lights, get the wiring harness done into the cab, start looking at the turn signal assembly. We have a couple wires to run for the horn circuit and the high beam low beam switch. After we get all that done, then we'll look at a pigtail to go down the frame rail for the rear tail lights and the trailer plug harness. Alright, this will be episode 14 with the 55 Chevy. Let's get on it. Both the fender mounted marker lights off. We got new sockets, new 12 volt dual filament sockets welded in, so that's all good. Next I'm going to look at these headlights. I got all new buckets and bulbs and everything, so hopefully they'll match up to the stack of first gen Chevy stuff that I have, and I can just use those trim rings that they look pretty good shape. The other thing I did, I got the intake put together with a 3-inch sewer fitting elbow that I use. Works fine. I use the Van MAF and air cleaner. That looks good. And I also got that last radiator hose clamp on down there. So looking pretty clean. Starting to come together under hood. But let's get back at these lights and start getting the front end put back together. Alright, let's get back to it. So the old headlight buckets are actually in pretty decent shape. This one was even able to be adjusted. So I do have new ones, but they don't have the mounting holes in the right spot for the trim ring. So I think I'm gonna use some parts from these, but kind of rebuild these ones and put new lights in them, obviously, and new connectors. But I think I'll be able to use most of this. This one came out. The other driver's side one, these screws are all seized up, but the actual bulb came out, so I think I can just use it and make it work. So, all right, let's get it all together. Alright, we got our headlight and our horn switch wired up. We got power coming in for the headlights. We got low beams, high beams, and this is the running lights. We got power coming in and power going out for the horn. So let's get those on the truck. Alright, we got all our under hood wiring done for our signal lights, our marker lights, our high beam, low beam, and our horn circuit. So this will all end up in a wire loom, but we got a little bit more we got to add to make the rear taillight loom, connect that into the harness, so that'll match up with the turn signal switch and get testing on that, but everything's looking good. So let's get that wired up towards the back of the truck. Start testing marker lights. Alright, well, I got this thing up on the lift. I'm gonna make the connections to the marker lights and the headlights. I got 6 wires I gotta connect and a ground for the headlights. So let's do that for both sides. Lastly, we got to hook up everything inside the cab to the turn signal module. We got a bunch of wires. We got the pigtail from the rear of the truck that has our left bright, our right bright, our running light, and power for the trailer. We got a brake light switch that we got to get in here. We got a flasher. This is power for the main fuse to come into the signal, and these are our front signals. So we got to look at some wire diagrams and some notes, get everything all together, soldered and heat shrinked, and that should be it for the wiring. So let's wrap this up inside the cab. we finished up all the wiring under hood, down the chassis. Got all the lights, signals, marker lights, high beams, low beams, the horn. Ran the brake light switch is wired in. We got our turn signal in the cab, horn, high beams, low beams, brake light switch is wired in. Everything's all tied up nice and tight. Chassis wire harness ready for tail lights and trailer plug. That just about wraps up the wiring on this truck. So we're ready to start putting a seat in, headliner, and do a flatbed. Get the front bumper on too. Moving along. Alright, that wraps up, I think it's episode 14. Thanks for watching, guys.